Go ahead.
Okay, who could tell me what these bags and bottles have in common?
They're plastic.
They are plastic. It's pretty crazy, but you think about it, plastic's everywhere. And what's even crazier is that every plastic ever made still exists today. And this is becoming a real problem for us, and it's called plastic pollution. Now think about it. None of you guys can sit here and say plastic isn't a part of your life. Just think about this keyboard I'm using, or the tube of toothpaste you used this morning, or your deodorant. It's everywhere. So today we're going to go over the world's current plastic pollution problem and what you can do to help. So let's start with the problem. According to ecowatch.com, 50% of the plastic we use just gets used once, and then we simply throw it away. Now what's even crazier is all this plastic adds up, and within a year's time, it could circle the Earth 4 times. Another thing is plastic isn't biodegradable, so it essentially lasts forever. The Biotechnology National Center of Research does say that the sun has an effect on plastic, which causes it to degrade, and it turns into what they call microplastics, so they're like little bits of plastic, but it still stays around forever. And this has a considerably big effect on the environment, specifically the sea. So it has impacted at least 267 species, about 86% of the sea, 44% of seabirds, and 43% of other marine mammal species. So these deaths are usually caused by like entanglement in the plastic, drowning, suffocation. But what is a bigger cause is these fish get fooled by the microplastics because they think it's fish eggs, so they tend to ingest it, and then the plastic ends up infecting their stomach, and that's how a lot of deaths are caused. So what's the impact on you? Well, essentially these animals are our food source, and if not our food source, then they play a really big role in our ecosystem. And just think about how a world would be if you had to explain to a child that this was a picture of a whale and that's all you had, the picture. So what can you do to be the solution to this problem? Well, all you have to do is start reusing and recycling. So let's first start with reusing. Now I don't expect you to start reusing everything, but just get into the mindset that things can be reused. So for example, let's say you had like a party and used plastic silverware. That silverware can be used up for a week and still be good. Or let's say you have kids and you have a lot of those wipey containers. Well, those could be repurposed into little containers for toys. So we tend to move about a lot and have to travel. And when we travel, when you're packing, you can use like plastic bags to put your shoes in there. That way, like your shoes don't ruin your clothes. Also, for plastic bottles, they can be repurposed into like plant seed starters. So for things that can't be reused, I suggest getting like a separate trash can so they can be recycled. And another good tip is that a lot of like food pantries, libraries, daycare centers, they all take plastic bag donations. So that's another good way to get rid of them. So I know this is a growing problem, and just by like reusing and recycling, we're not going to like solve everything, but it's a good way to start getting us in the right track. So here's some results of recycling. It will lessen the pollution and littering of the environment around us, and it'll save up space in landfills. It also conserves natural resources, so it takes 75% less energy to recycle 1 ton of plastic than to make entirely new products. And it also boosts the economy by providing new jobs. So how will it affect you? Well, if you do decide to start reusing and recycling, you'll have more money in your pocket, and there's also like places where you can save those recyclables and get money in return for it. Also, you have a good feeling about helping out the world. So what if I'm just not persuading you and you just don't want to reuse or recycle? Well, you're initially not just hurting yourself, but you're hurting everyone around you, your mom, your sister, your kids. because it will lead to air pollution, and air pollution could cause minor or major health effects such as bronchitis, asthma, lung cancer, birth defects, and it just doesn't affect the air, but affects the water like we were talking about, so it affects the animals. So I want you to make a pledge today to start reusing and recycling. I don't expect you to sign a piece of paper or anything. I just expect you to start using the designated trash cans here at work, even though sometimes they're farther than our regular trash can. And also to make a conscious effort at home to reuse and recycle. So today we went over the world's current plastic pollution problem and what you can do to help. I know sometimes it seems like one person can't do anything, but one person can. And just to put it in perspective, so if you were to recycle one water bottle, it would save enough energy to power a light bulb for 3 hours. Now the average American usually uses about 167 water bottles, so that would save about 20 days of energy, and it could power up that light bulb for 20 days. So just something to think about.